This is episode 94. Welcome to Wellness in Every Season, the podcast where we explore the rich tapestry of wellness in all its forms. I'm your host, Autumn Carter, a certified life coach turned wellness coach, as well as a certified parenting coach, dedicated to empowering others to rediscover their identity in their current season of life. My goal is to help you thrive both as an individual and as a parent. Welcome to episode 94, Embracing Self-Compliments for Greater Wellness. Today we're diving into a topic that might feel a little out of the ordinary, but has the potential to reshape how you see yourself from the inside out. We're talking about the art of complimenting yourself, a practice that can feel surprisingly awkward, yet holds so much power for personal growth and inner peace. In a world where we often celebrate humility, we can sometimes feel hesitant to acknowledge our strengths and achievements. Self-complimenting might even feel uncomfortable, or for some, downright foreign. Yet, what if shifting this mindset could actually lead to deeper self-worth and resilience? What if the simple act of acknowledging what is good within us could fuel our wellness and empower us to show it more fully? Not just for ourselves, but for those we love. In today's episode, we're going to unpack why self-complimenting is more than just a feel-good exercise. It's a vital aspect of a balanced, healthy mind. When we're compassionate and kind towards ourselves, especially in recognizing our own strengths, it builds resilience and a stronger sense of inner peace. We're essentially creating a habit of self-appreciation that counterbalances the daily doubts or criticisms we all experience. Throughout this episode, I'll share practical exercises to help you incorporate self-complimenting into your life, even if it feels strange at first. Whether it's jotting down a few things you're proud of each day or learning to embrace a small moment in the mirror with kind words, we'll explore different ways to bring more kindness and recognition into your inner dialogue. This is about creating a healthy, sustainable habit of self-recognition. It's not about boasting or self-centeredness. It's about allowing yourself to see your worth clearly and build a foundation of self-trust and confidence. Let's start the journey of lifting ourselves up and allowing our inner praise to be a source of strength. As we dive into today's exercise, I want to share that I'm still on this journey of self-complimenting myself. It's an evolving practice for me, one I've only recently started to embrace more fully, so I'm sharing with you. And the more I allow myself to genuinely recognize my own strengths, the more I'm noticing profound changes in my wellness. I'm trusting myself on a deeper level. My self-esteem is strengthening, and I'm seeing a shift towards more positive thoughts and fewer negative ones. I feel more creative and energized, and I've noticed a greater resilience when facing criticism or stress. This process of self-complimenting is becoming something I want to do more often because of how uplifting it is. It ties beautifully into the idea that most people aren't scrutinizing us as much as we might think. Those passing, expressionless glances are rarely judgments, and if people are thinking about us, it's often kinder than we assume. If, on the rare occasions, someone does seem to judge us harshly, it's comforting to remember that it's more about a reflection of their inner world than it is of ours. Often those harsh judgments are rooted in their own struggles, and they project those onto others. Letting go of these external judgments frees us to lean into self-compliments with confidence, knowing we are honoring our own worth and growth. If you're finding it challenging to get started with this, know that it's okay. It's a learning curve. And if you'd like some one-on-one guidance, I'd love to support you in a personalized 30-minute session. We can explore how to make this journey meaningful for you, helping you build that self-trust, positivity, and resilience that self-complimenting brings. Now, let's dive into the first key points and begin exploring how we can start embracing self-compliments in a way that feels natural and empowering. Our first key point today is recognizing why self-complimenting matters. For many of us, there's an ingrained tendency to focus on what we're doing wrong or where we need to improve. This focus on improvement isn't necessarily a bad thing, but without balancing it with acknowledgement of what we're doing well, it can lead to a constant state of inadequacy. That's why the act of self-complimenting is so impactful. It fills the gaps by giving ourselves permission to acknowledge our strength and the qualities that make us unique. When I first began this practice, I found it awkward at first, like I said, as if I was somehow taking up too much space just by being kind to myself. But I quickly realized that giving myself those small moments of affirmation wasn't taking anything away from anyone else. It was simply building up my own foundation. And as I started noticing the changes, it became clear just how essential self complimenting is to wellness. It's like watering a plant. Here's a plant back here. It's like watering a plant. Those small acknowledgments are nourishment, helping us grow stronger and more resilient from within. If you're just beginning, start with one small compliment each day, no matter how simple it might seem. It could be about your patience, your ability to stay calm in a challenging situation, or even something as straightforward as noticing you made a good decision. These small moments of recognition have a ripple effect. They build up over time, adding a layer of trust and positivity that shifts your perspective little by little. This shift not only elevates your self-esteem, but gradually helps reframe how you view challenges, criticism, and even how you handle stress. Let's move into the next key point where we'll dive into specific strategies that can make self-complimenting a natural, consistent habit in your life. Integrating self-complimenting into daily life can initially feel like an odd or unfamiliar practice. Many of us are used to our thoughts flowing in a certain way, often, flowing different directions, often leaning toward self-improvement, critique, or planning for what's next. But to truly reap the benefits of self-complimenting, consistency is key. Shifting from self-criticism to self-compassion doesn't happen overnight. It's built moment by moment, like a small stone path we walk each day until eventually it becomes the path we naturally choose. One of the most effective ways to make self-complimenting a habit is to attach it to routines that already anchor your day. Think of these as natural checkpoints that remind you to turn inward for a brief moment of appreciation. It could be in the morning with that first deep breath after you wake up, or perhaps when you're winding down in the evening. I do both. As you take a quiet moment to release the day. By linking self-complimenting with a familiar activity, you create a ritual of self-recognition, where you intentionally acknowledge something about yourself, whether it's a quality, a small success, or simply the effort you put in. This can be as simple as saying to yourself, I handled that stressful conversation today with patience. Or I followed through on my commitment to exercise even when I didn't feel like it. Small but sincere, these moments build a pattern of self-respect and kindness. Over time, this habit reinforces your sense of self-worth and shifts your natural thought patterns towards the positive, helping you see your own value as a steady presence in your life. The beauty of self-complimenting is that it's subtle yet deeply transformative. The more we practice it, the more we realize that this kindness we extend to ourselves doesn't just lift our spirits, it also empowers us to handle criticism and stress with more resilience. When challenges come, you'll find you're less inclined to take them personally or to be thrown off balance. That steady voice of self-complimenting built up over time acts like a buffer, reminding you of your strengths, your progress, and your capacity to face difficulty with courage and calm, even when the outside world feels chaotic. This habit allows you to return to a place of self-assurance, where you know your own worth and recognize your own growth. Through this lens, self-complimenting becomes less of a task to check off and more of a fundamental way of being. It becomes the way you speak to yourself, the way you hold space for your achievements, and the way you nurture your inner dialogue. This shift changes everything. It alters how you approach your day, how you respond to setbacks, and even how you interpret the words and actions of others. It's like building an internal sanctuary, a safe space within you, where you can find comfort and encouragement no matter what's happening around you. Next, we'll move into a mindfulness practice that will deepen this journey, helping you connect with yourself in a way that feels supportive and affirming. Through this practice, we'll work to ground these ideas, giving you a chance to truly feel the effects of self-complimenting in real time. Let's move forward into this practice together. For today's mindfulness practice, let's focus on the art of letting go. This practice will guide us in releasing any lingering negative thoughts or feelings of guilt that may have built up over the day. allowing us to instead hold space for the positive actions and moments that often go unnoticed. To begin, find a comfortable position and take a deep, grounding breath. As you exhale, imagine letting go of any tension you may be holding, allowing your body to soften and relax. Let your breath flow naturally, easy and enforced as we journey inward. Now, gently bring to mind any negative thoughts or feelings that surface today, whether it's self-doubt, guilt, or criticism. Those are the three big ones. Acknowledge them briefly, without judgment, as if they're simply clouds passing through the sky. As you exhale, picture those thoughts drifting away, dissolving, and leaving you lighter with each breath. Now, shift your focus to the positive. Recall any actions, qualities, or small successes from your day, no matter how simple or subtle. Perhaps you showed kindness in a conversation, took a step toward a goal, or practiced patience in a challenging moment. Let these memories fill you with warmth and appreciation, like a gentle light radiating from within. Take a few moments to savor each one, letting it settle into your heart. If you find that nothing specific is coming to mind, that's perfectly okay. Instead, take this opportunity to visualize the future. Picture yourself moving through tomorrow or the week ahead with ease and confidence. Imagine yourself embodying the qualities you most admire: patience, resilience, kindness, whatever resonates with you. See yourself handling situations with grace and feeling proud of who you are in those moments. Let this vision be a soft, encouraging presence, a gentle reminder of the person you're growing into. As you continue breathing, allow this practice to settle. Feel how this intentional focus on the positive brings a sense of peace and gratitude, softening the edges of any negativity or doubt. When you're ready, take one final deep breath, letting it out slowly and carrying this feeling of lightness with you as we close this practice. Thank you for joining me in this mindfulness practice. Next, we will explore how this simple act of focusing on the positive, both within ourselves and in others, creates a ripple effect, reinforcing those qualities and allowing us to grow with intention. Let's continue our journey together. Now that we've grounded ourselves in the art of letting go, let's move into our next point: how the practice of focusing on positive qualities doesn't just benefit us individually, but it also creates a ripple effect in the lives of those around us. Think about that pebble dropping in the water, all those ripples. As we practice self-complimenting, we're not only reinforcing a more compassionate and resilient mindset within ourselves, we're also modeling a powerful way of being for others. This approach aligns beautifully with the principles of positive reinforcement, a concept deeply rooted in psychology. When we notice and affirm positive actions, whether in ourselves, our children, or our partners, we create an environment that encourages those actions to flourish. In fact, studies show that praise and recognition stimulate the release of dopamine, creating a feeling of reward that makes it more likely for someone to repeat the behavior. In my parenting programs, we talk extensively about this approach. Conscientiously focusing on the behaviors we want to see more of and giving genuine praise, we reinforce those qualities in our children. And P.S., this works in the workplace, it works with animal training, it works everywhere. Try it out. Imagine, for instance, a child who receives encouragement for their patience while learning something new, or a coworker. That moment of recognition builds their confidence, helping them associate patience with a positive experience. And this doesn't just apply to children, like I said. Adults are similarly motivated by genuine acknowledgement and reinforcement, which helps them feel seen, valued, and motivated to continue growing. When we bring this principle back to ourselves, it transforms how we view our own growth. Instead of dwelling on our perceived flaws or shortcomings, we're learning to notice and praise our own efforts, strengths, and progress. This shift from self-criticism to self-encouragement helps us see ourselves in a kinder light, strengthening our self-esteem and allowing us to approach each day with greater confidence. As we continue building this practice, both in self-complimenting and in recognizing the positives in those around us, we're cultivating a more compassionate encouraging environment, one that naturally invites growth, connection, and positivity. Over time, this approach not only nurtures our own well being, but also supports and uplifts those around us, creating the ripple effect that reinforces a culture of kindness and self worth. Incorporating these small moments of praise and recognitions into your daily life doesn't need to be complicated. It can be as simple as noticing one thing you did well, sharing a word of appreciation with a loved one, or even just pausing to reflect on the goodness in yourself and others. These intentional acts, however small, add up and shape the environment in which we live and grow. Now, as we close this section, I encourage you to bring this awareness with you into tomorrow. Look for the qualities in yourself and in others that you want to encourage, and see how acknowledging these moments shapes your perspective. And if this is something you'd like to explore more deeply, remember that you can always reach out for a one-on-one session where we can work through these practices together. Thank you for joining me in this exploration of positive reinforcement and the art of self-complimenting. Let's keep moving forward, building a life where we uplift both ourselves and those around us. Welcome. Are you craving moments that nourish both your soul and family amidst the blur of daily tasks? I understand that desire for a life that brings peace, balance, and joy, not just endless to-dos. That's why I created a range of programs at Wellness in Every Season to help you transform daily routines into meaningful experiences. Recently, I've launched a variety of offerings designed for busy, budget-conscious individuals, some free and others starting at just $7. Many can be completed in a few minutes or hours, while others dive deeper into exploring your dreams, desires, and unique strengths. These programs focus on practical self-care, creating equity in your home, and building trust with yourself. Imagine stepping into your day with confidence and ease, feeling supported by a community on a similar path. Whether you're looking to reclaim time, pursue your dream job, or simply find joy in the little moments, there's something here for you. All resources are available on demand at wellnessinEverySeason.com. You can also book private coaching sessions for more personalized support on your journey. Welcome back. I hope you found that moment refreshing. Before we dive into our next key point, I want to take a quick moment to say that the best way you can support me and this podcast is by purchasing one of my programs, signing up for one-on-one coaching, and of course, sharing the show with others. Your support allows me to continue creating valuable content that empowers each of us to live more fully and embrace wellness in every season of life. Thank you for being a part of this journey with me. Now, let's dive into our next key point, preparing yourself for the day with intention. Setting the tone for the day with intention is a powerful way to carry the benefits of self-complimenting into our waking hours. Just as we practice letting go of the negative and holding onto the positive, this approach can also set us up for a day filled with purpose, calm, and confidence. In fact, one of the most effective ways to integrate self-complimenting into your morning is to visualize the day ahead and see yourself moving through it with ease. Visualizing our day not only primes our mind to look for moments of success and joy, but also equips us to handle any challenges with resilience and grace. Take a few moments each morning, perhaps while enjoying your lemon water or green smoothie, to picture yourself in various situations as you anticipate the day. Imagine yourself approaching each task with confidence, handling any stressors with calm, and recognizing your efforts along the way. Even if the day feels daunting, visualizing yourself moving through it positively can help ease any anxiety and bolster your confidence, priming your mind to embrace the day's events with an open and empowered heart. In this way, you're creating a mental roadmap for a positive day. It's like planting seeds in the morning that bloom throughout the day, offering you a foundation of self-support and strength to draw upon. This practice can become a habit that transforms how you experience each day, helping you move through life with a greater sense of purpose, wellness, and joy. By setting this intention and starting your day in this way, you're giving yourself the best possible start, a moment of connection with yourself and a chance to align with the person you want to be. Let's continue exploring how these practices can elevate each day, helping you to feel more grounded, confident, and ready to embrace whatever life brings. Our final point today is about cultivating self-awareness through reflection. Self-complimenting And intentional practices like visualization bring us closer to understanding ourselves, our strengths, values, and even our areas for growth. Yet, to truly make the most of these practices, we need to create space for reflection. Reflection is a powerful tool that not only helps us appreciate our journey, but also builds self awareness, enabling us to recognize the progress we've made and the areas we'd like to nurture further. At the end of each day, spend a few moments reflecting on what you felt proud of and what felt challenging. Ask yourself, where did I surprise myself? Where did I show resilience or kindness? And how did I support my wellness today? These reflections are an opportunity to connect deeply with yourself, to notice patterns in your thoughts and behaviors, and to acknowledge the positive strides you've made. It's less about critiquing yourself, because then you're going to be staying up later, ruminating, and more about gaining insight, which allows you to make intentional choices moving forward. This practice of reflection strengthens our ability to grow through self-compassion rather than self-criticism. Instead of seeing mistakes as failures, we can view them as teachers, pointing us toward areas where we can be kinder to ourselves, more intentional in our actions, or even more meaningful in our interactions with others. Reflection opens the door to transformation, not through harsh judgment, but through gentle self-awareness. In this way, self-complimenting, visualization, and reflection create a loop of self-empowerment. When we recognize our progress and encourage our strengths, we foster a cycle of growth, reinforcing positive behaviors that bring us closer to the best versions of ourselves. And with this foundation, we're better equipped to handle the uncertainties of life with a resilient, compassionate mindset. As we near the end, I invite you to bring the spirit of reflection with you each evening. It doesn't have to be a lengthy process, just a few minutes to appreciate the day, recognize your strengths, and set intentions for tomorrow. You can even, if you want to add in even more wellness to this, add some stretches in with this while you're doing it. So if you need that movement instead of just sitting still. Reflection, when done regularly, can be a beautiful end to the day, bringing a sense of closure and gratitude that nurtures our well-being. Now, let's move into our coaching questions, where I'll guide you to deepen these practices in your own life and create a foundation for ongoing growth and self-discovery. Here are 10 coaching questions designed to deepen your journey into self-complimenting, visualization, and reflection, helping you build a foundation of self-awareness and personal growth. What is one compliment you can give yourself today that genuinely feels true? How does acknowledging this make you feel? Reflect on a recent challenging situation. What positive qualities did you demonstrate in handling it, even if the outcome wasn't perfect? If you were to visualize an ideal day, what qualities or strengths would you want to embody throughout that day? How can you start bringing those qualities into your daily routine? What daily or weekly ritual could you create to practice self-complimenting consistently? How can you incorporate it in a way that feels natural and supportive? When you think about negative thoughts that tend to linger, what might be one way to gently let them go? How would it feel to replace them with something positive? As you reflect on your journey so far, what is one quality or strength that you'd like to nurture even more? These questions are crafted to encourage gentle introspection and action, helping you engage with these practices on a deeper, more intentional level. Each question opens the door for greater self-awareness, allowing you to cultivate kindness towards yourself and nurture a growth-focused mindset. As we come to the close of this episode, I want to thank you for joining me on this journey of self-complimenting, visualization, and reflection. These practices are more than just tools. They're invitations to connect with yourself in a meaningful way, to honor your strengths, and to foster a compassionate, supportive inner world. Remember, the journey of self-growth is ongoing, and each small step you take adds up. It isn't about perfection. It's about learning to embrace who you are moment by moment. When you visualize your day with intention, you're setting yourself up for success, aligning with the best version of yourself. And when you make time for reflection, you're nurturing self-awareness and growth, allowing you to see how far you've come and where you'd like to go. As you continue forward, I encourage you to hold those practices close. Notice the positive moments, both in yourself and in those around you. Take time to acknowledge your own growth and let this act of self-recognition be a foundation for resilience, confidence, and joy. If you're ready to explore these concepts on a deeper, more personal level, I love to support you in a one-on-one session. Together, we can tailor these practices to fit your unique life, building a toolkit for well-being and personal growth. And as always, sharing this podcast with others who might benefit is one of the best ways you can support this journey, allowing us to continue creating valuable content together. Thank you for being here, for embracing this journey of wellness in every season of life. I look forward to joining you again in the next episode where we'll continue exploring paths to a more fulfilling and balanced life. Until then, take care of yourself and remember to celebrate the unique, wonderful person you are. Next week, we will be talking with Jennifer McCutcheon about spiritual recovery. See you there. Thanks for tuning into this week's episode. I am your host, Autumn Carter, a certified life coach dedicated to empowering individuals to rediscover their identity, find balance amidst chaos, strengthen relationships, and pursue their dreams. My goal is to help people thrive in every aspect of their lives. I hope today's discussion inspired you and offered valuable insights. You can work one-on-one with me or on demand through one of my programs by visiting wellnessinEverySeason.com. Stay engaged in our wellness community by signing up for my newsletter at com/free-resources. When you join, you'll have the option to receive a 5-day guide called Awaken and Unwind, 5 days to master your mornings and evenings, along with free guides, special offers on my programs, practical tips, personal stories, and much more. Sign up and share it with others. I put a lot into it, and that's where you will find me showing up the most. Don't miss these valuable resources designed to help you thrive in every area of wellness in every season of life. Join today and start your journey to wellness in every season. Your shares, subscriptions, or reviews for this podcast help us reach more people seeking empowerment. So please spread the word about our podcast. Thank you for being a part of our podcast community, and I look forward to continuing our conversation, sharing stories, and exploring wellness in all its aspects. One last thing to cover the show legally. I am a certified life coach and a certified parenting coach, giving general advice. I have a bachelor's in applied health, so I use that for the wellness aspect. So think of this more like a self-help book. This podcast is for educational and entertainment purposes. I am not a licensed therapist, so this podcast shouldn't be taken as a replacement for professional guidance from a doctor or therapist. Because I don't know you personally, I'm not offering you personal advice. This is very general. If you want personal one-on-one coaching, go to my website, wellnessinEverySeason.com. That's where you can get personalized coaching from me for you. I will see you in next week's episode. Bye. One last thing to cover this show legally. I am a certified life coach giving general advice, so think of this more like a self-help book. This podcast is for educational and entertainment purposes only. I am not a licensed therapist, so this podcast shouldn't be taken as a replacement for professional guidance from a doctor, therapist, or any other qualified expert. If you want personal one-on-one coaching from a certified coach, go to my website at wellnessinEverySeason.com. That's where you can get personalized coaching from me. See you in next week's episode.